Pledge allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Ashley, can I have roll call, please?
Clot,
Here.
Menard,
Here.
Hibma,
Here.
Jurdy, Fisher,
Here.
Briggs,
Here.
Cavalier,
Here.
Kressel.
Here. Okay, this brings us to the open forum. If anyone would like to address council on any issue not already on tonight's agenda, may come to the podium, state your first and last name and address, please.
Hi, my name is Michelle Christofferson, 723 Sunset Avenue. I work at the University of Minnesota Crookston, but I wanted to alert the council of an initiative that I've been working on since the end of December, and that is to further develop the Allen and Frida Community Garden, Allen and Frida Peterson Community Garden, that is located adjacent to the Valley Tech Park. I've been working with the Northwest Research and Outreach Center, the University of Minnesota Ag and Natural Resources Department, as well as the Horticulture Department, and also the Crookston EDA. Depending upon the additional funding that I'm able to secure, currently right now that garden is 135 feet by 35 feet. My goal is to, again, pending the funding that I'm able to receive, is going to be enlarging it to 200 by 219. There will be raised gardens that we plan on leasing, between 10 and 15 of those, depending upon the space. I've been working with the city building inspector, Mr. Hefta, on building a couple of pergolas so that we can enhance that space and also create a social environment for the Crookston community and also for the residents surrounding Crookston. I want to personally thank the Crookston Visitors Bureau. They have provided us with a $3,000 grant to market this garden, and a lot of the activities that we host or will be hosting to further promote that space, and also our engagement at the Farmers Market on Thursdays downtown and at the Polk County Fair and other areas within the community of Crookston. That garden was started by Dr. Dan Sidarsky and a variety of faculty, former city administrator Shannon Stassen, and of course Allen and Frida Peterson, particularly through a philanthropic gift to not only bring the community together and socialize, but also start thinking about different ways to which we can feed the community. And because we are in such an environment with low income and poverty, we want to be able to provide some fresh food, not only for the students on the Crookston campus, but also here in Polk County. So you'll be hearing more about it. I'm very excited about this. It is going to happen. It's just going to be contingent on 3 other grants that I'm waiting for their award. We're working with the Crookston Area Community Fund. There is a grant that I have submitted. It's called the Urban Ag Department of Employment and Economic Development Grant, and then also the Campus Climate Grant through the University of Minnesota. And there's one more, but I can't remember what it is. But it will also engage some prairie grass growing and pollinators. So look for more information on that, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Thank you.
Thanks, Michelle. Is there anyone else? Chad, anybody on the phone bridge, please?
No one this evening, Your Honor. We will close the bridge.
Thank you.
Agent logged up.
Okay, no presentations. This brings us to the agenda. Does anyone wish to add anything from tonight's agenda? Do I have a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
So moved, Your Honor.
Thank you, Tim.
Second.
Second by Joe. Thank you. Discussion. Hearing none. Let's have roll call.
Clot,
Aye.
Menard,
Aye.
Hibma,
Aye.
Fisher,
Aye.
Briggs,
Aye.
Cavalier,
Aye.
Kressel.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. This brings us to the consent agenda. Does anyone wish to remove anything from the consent agenda? Can I have a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda?
I'll make that motion, Your Honor.
Got Don and I got Clayton. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Clot,
Aye.
Menard,
Aye.
Hibma,
Aye.
Fisher,
Aye.
Briggs,
Aye.
Cavalier,
Aye.
Cressel.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. One public hearing. Ashley, please.
Yes, Your Honor. Item 7.01 is a public hearing regarding citizen input on the Small Cities Grant application.
Thank you. I'll open this public hearing. Does anyone wish to address the council? If so, please come to the podium, state your first and last name and address, please.
My name is Jeff Evers, and my address here, I guess, is 205 West Fletcher. Just want to make a quick comment on the Small Cities Grant application and how it's positive for all of town. I guess, I don't know, we talked about it earlier, but the deed and the Small Cities Grant helps to get a lot of the commercial buildings fixed up, and I know they're doing some residential too, but I don't know. Just, I think it's a great thing for downtown, so that's my public input.
All right, thanks, Jeff. Anyone else?
Do you have a presentation for that, just to kind of go over and show people?
Sure.
Kayla has a presentation, she's working on it. And Carrie.
Okay, well, I'm Kayla Hansen. I'm a project coordinator for community development. And then Carrie Kirschbaum, my director, is going to be backing me in some of these pieces. So we've been working with the city in conjunction with a gentleman named John Wynn. Through Wynn Consulting is who we've contracted. He's basically our small cities development guru. He's been assisting us through this process since midsummer, June or so of last year. So we recently submitted our preliminary application towards the end of November. It came back middle of January that our application was deemed competitive as a city, which is a great thing. You can essentially be competitive, kind of middle of the road, modular competitive, and then not competitive. So essentially we were invited to submit a full application. What we were busy doing, when I say we, community development, the city, and then especially Don Cavalier from Ward 4, we were collecting essentially letters of interest from not only homeowners within the community, but also commercial business owners as well as rental property owners. Next slide, please. So we've submitted what's called a comprehensive application, broken into 3 different pieces. Our owner-occupied rehab, our mixed use, which is essentially buildings with apartments above, and then commercial properties for $1.2 million was our ask through deed. Next slide, please. So a few of our proposed projects and our consultant assisted us with putting this budget together. When we apply for these monies, it's not essentially a free-for-all. We do whatever projects come down the road. We do budget accordingly. So what we worked out is approximately within that $1.2 million, we would be able to roughly do 16 owner-occupied houses, 10 mixed-use properties, and then 13 commercial properties. And we think about the overall budget. We're also, thinking about administrative costs. There's a 15% administrative fee that we essentially tack on to each project. So if you're sitting there doing the math in your head, it does add up. Next slide, please. So we've been asked this common question, what can folks do? And this is across the board for both homeowners, rental property owners, and business owners. Essentially, small cities really pushes that this is a rehab. The idea of small cities is to keep our infrastructure intact. This isn't adding additions, this isn't remodeling. So when we talk about remodeling, Deed uses the example, you can't have a flat roof and turn it into a pitch roof. That's considered remodeling. It has to be what is pre-existing at that time. Structural improvements, we saw a lot of this coming in across the board with all projects. The need for rehabbing roofs, a lot of, foundation repairs, things like that. Addressing any health and safety concerns also is factored in. heating, plumbing, electrical, weatherization. I know you've heard a lot of that from community development as far as the projects that we have coming. It's all exciting. Exterior painting or siding. Again, not remodeling, this is a rehab. One thing we also want to note too is this isn't simply, it's not like going to the bank and getting a loan. We're going to talk about, some proposed terms of financing that are going to look pretty exciting and pretty, attractive to individuals. But this isn't a matter of here's the money, go at your project. Small cities development has a pretty rigorous, a very fair, but a rigorous process that we do go through, from inspections, doing work write-ups, doing the work under, the terms as necessary. So you do have to be able to work with the small cities administrator, which more than likely will be myself in conjunction with the city when moving through your projects. Next slide, please. All right, so commercial and mixed use rehab. This is going to sound a little odd of a term, but this program requires us to designate what's called a slum and blighted area. So what we have designated is our Ward 4 downtown district. We've highlighted essentially from where the railroad tracks are, down to Fletcher, up South Ash, and then essentially where we connect into Highway 2 as our target area for our mixed use and our commercial properties. We see a pretty heavy need. And the big thing is when we're looking at these applications, our consultant really stresses where is our need? Where do you have the concentrated area of buildings that, oh sorry, I'm a dancer, I move around, talk with my hands, former teacher. Just that need to really rehab a concentrated area. If we spread out too much, if we get too big, then we're not going to have that finished product at the end of the day. So commercial and mixed use are within our slum and blighted area. Next slide, please. Okay, so a little bit of a breakdown for commercial properties. All commercial properties within that slum and blighted area can apply. There really aren't specifications as far as what kind of business you have, who owns it, things like that. This is a first come, first serve. It's something that's a little unique through small cities. So financing, what this is going to look like proposed at this time, it's an 80-20, 80% finance through small cities, 20 through the owner financing. It's essentially rolled into an escrow account prior to anything being done on the property. Small cities stresses deferred and forgivable loans. That is something that we are looking to target potentially. The biggest thing with this project is we're not in this to make money. These projects are out there for cities to be able to target those properties that need assistance. So this isn't a moneymaker for us by any means. This does have a 5-year deferment. Small cities basically stresses that we put 5 years on it. This is going to look pretty familiar with the mixed use as well. And then for commercial properties, property owners can apply to up to $40,000 is the cap on these loans. Next slide, please. Okay, mixed use rentals. Again, these are buildings that have commercial properties with apartments attached to the structure. Okay, eligible applicants must be within the designated area. That was the slum and blight that we showed everybody earlier. The unit or units, okay, and there is not a cap. If a property owner owns 6 units, okay, they can apply to do their 6 units. Okay, being rehabilitated must principally be around 51%. Okay, low income. It does go off of HUD standards. Again, these rules are made through small cities, so that's what we follow. It has to be a minimum of 51% occupancy. Okay, financing. Commercial is an 80-20, okay? For a rental property, we're looking at 70-30. Again, we have a 5-year deferment loan, and the maximum, okay, funding is going to be $12,500 per unit. Okay, next slide, please. All right, owner-occupied rehab. This is going to look a little different, and I'm sorry if my map is a little deceiving. I couldn't squash it down any better. I'm not always super techy. Okay, so our initial target is Ward 4. When we were sending out and working heavily with Don again, he went door to door by foot, did a lot of legwork for us when collecting those letters of interest. We went through Ward 4, okay, also known as the Woods Edition. We are asked by deed, okay, to come up with a Plan B. Okay, who else can we target if we can't fulfill X number of properties within our initial ward? Okay, we're gonna look at doing the Sampson edition is gonna be our Plan B. Okay, this is income-based. These are the standards. We do essentially follow our HUD standards, but this is our breakdown that we've been encouraged to advertise. Again, applicants are on a first come, first served basis. You know, we move through do they fall under the income limits? B, what's the scope of work that we're wanting to get done? We send in inspectors, we go through all the rigmarole as needed. Properties of greatest need will take priority. One thing that we do stress is this does go beyond general maintenance, and we are seeing a lot of the letters of interest that did come in, homes that need a lot of need. And we certainly do see it, you know, just by taking a drive by. It's definitely, there's no lie about, you know, our homes that do need that help. Okay, financing is going to look a little different. This is a 7-year deferred forgivable. There is no match to owner occupied. Okay, maximum funding is going to be $25,000 per home. Okay, next slide, please.
Is there a or do they have to own the home for so long afterwards to get that? 7 years. Okay.
Correct. Yes. So it works on a sliding scale. So let's say somebody did a project. They did, you know, max $25,000. They need to be in the home for 7 years. Let's say they sell the house within year 5. What deed calls it is a sliding scale. So then they would end up paying for 2 out of those 7 years, essentially. Okay. And a bit on our timeline, like I said, our prelim application is good. It was deemed competitive back in November. Our full application, that's when we finalize that this is what our project will look like. We've held our public hearing. We've heard additional input. We have reached out to the public once or twice. However, this is part of our full application, is having this public hearing and receiving additional input prior to that full application going in. And that's when we finalize our budget, our projects that we intend to move forward with. So spring, early summer is when is essentially when they target, when we'll be notified if we've been awarded or not. And then pending, all shakes out as it should, we would start projects in year 2025. And I'm sure a big question, and those that might be watching, you know, I've kind of received some feedback, which is great, is how do we know? You know, we've sent out those letter of interest. How do we know if this project is going to move forward, so on and so forth? Those letters of interest are all in a spreadsheet. They've all been basically filed according to when we receive them. We will be reaching out personally to all of those individuals, pending we do get awarded, to see if they do want to move forward with those projects. Everybody is very important in this. However, with those letters of interest, we do want to follow up. What? Oh, sorry, I thought somebody said something. So we will be moving forward with that. Letters of interest were not an application. If we do get funded, wonderful. We do have a full application process that commercial property owners, rental owners, and homeowners will fill out. So those letters of interest were just a general scope, and they really helped us to send in a really competitive application. So go Crookston. All right, that's all I have for small cities.
Question.
Yes.
Why was your Plan B Sampson's edition?
That was determined by John Wynn he's been doing this for many years, so that was under his guidance.
Okay,
I think that what I heard too was that when they reviewed what were considered blighted properties, there was a higher number of blighted properties in those 2 oldest editions of the city. So that's probably why the Plan B is to go towards Sampson.
because I was just kind of questioning, I mean, I'm okay with it, but I mean, you've got, in Ward 5, the north side of Robert Street in the Dromes edition, that,
John can answer that.
If he wants to go up to the
You
podium.
want to come to the podium, please, John?
That's what we call you anyway.
And he puts up with me, my novice self on the phone.
What was the question again?
I was just wondering why Sampson's edition was Plan B. And then there is, down in Jerome's edition in Ward 5 would be on the north side of Highway 2 heading east. You know, they could use some rehab down there too, so maybe that would be in the future, hopefully.
Yeah, I would say if there's another area in town that needs it, that is what you'd want to do. The way, we actually don't think that, we think we're going to get enough applications out of the Woods Edition, you know, which is our initial target area. The Plan B area was just kind of something that deed requires that we provide them with that in case we don't receive enough applications. And we had to pick some area. I know we consulted with the staff at Cheetah, and we decided that the Sampson edition would be the one that would make sense. It was adjacent to the Woods edition and the downtown, and it just seemed to fit better. And so I would say that if you're looking at doing something in a different edition, you know, either file another application at a later date, or you know, just do something citywide housing, or deed has a requirement that your district be no bigger than 5,000 population. So.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Kayla, given that this is conditional upon having the grant awarded, is there a time limit from the time an applicant is notified that their application is going forward to when the work has to be completed? So the funds drawn upon and then work completed.
Quote me if I'm wrong. I believe 30 months
Okay.
is what is specified from deed, 30 months.
Okay, because I don't know if others are aware of how hard it is to get a contractor to show up to do work in a timely manner. So I wanted to make sure that folks were aware that that will be a challenge.
Absolutely. And what we're going to be doing pending we're awarded, deed's going to let us know late spring, early summer, and they're going to send us through workshops. We've been doing quite a bit of preparation already to pinpoint and let those contractors know what could be coming down the pipeline. Deed encourages us to hold essentially like small contractor workshops, essentially, or meetings, kind of pre-meetings to prep for that. So we're really trying to kind of get ahead of the game a little bit, but we certainly acknowledge that, especially with our weathers and things like that. So yay, snowstorm coming.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Corky, I think you got our statement to read?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm just asking that we have a Crookston public hearing summary that I would like to enter into the record, and also a copy of this particular Small Cities Development Program that Kayla presented. These are requirements from deed, so if we could attach those to our meeting minutes, that would be really good. In fact, essential. And then next meeting, we will have a resolution on board for your consideration for approval. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else regarding this public hearing? Hearing none, I'll close this public hearing. Okay, this brings us to the regular agenda. Ashley, please.
Yes, Your Honor. Item 8.01 is a summary of the closed Ways and Means meeting on February 12th, 2024.
Thank you. I guess Corky will read the summary regarding the closed meeting we had.
Summary of the Ways and Means Committee meeting, February 12, 2024. The Ways and Means Committee pursuant to statute 13D.05 subdivision 3, parens C and parens, and the appropriate notice procedures had a closed meeting on February 12, 2024. The meeting was called to order by Mayor Dale Stainbrook at 8:07 p.m. Those in attendance were Mayor Stainbrook, council members Jurdy, Fisher, Cavalier, Kressel, Klott, Hibma, and Menard. Absent was council member Briggs. Also present were City Administrator Corky Reynolds and Community Development Director Carrie Kirschbaum. Upon motion by council member Tim Menard and seconded by council member Don Cavalier, and a unanimous vote of all council members present, the meeting was closed at 8:07 p.m. The purpose of the meeting was to discuss a proposal for the purchase of Washington School and the surrounding real property, as well as kitchen equipment and playground equipment from Independent School District 593. The meeting was held as a result of a negotiation involving the purchase of Washington School. The negotiations centered around the purchase of the building, land, and in particular, kitchen equipment and playground equipment. The school district had indicated a potential purchase price, but the purchase price would be set forth in a written communication. The school district had previously indicated that prior to a written proposal, an evaluation of the need of some or all of the kitchen equipment by the school district and some or all of the playground equipment by the school district would need to be undertaken. As of February 12, 2024, no written proposal with respect to the proposed purchase price to acquire the Washington School building, property, kitchen equipment, and playground equipment had been received by the City of Crookston. The members of the council each discussed the potential purchase price of the building and a potential offer to purchase the property and equipment. No specific numbers were designated, but ranges were discussed depending upon the amount of land to be purchased, the extent of the kitchen and playground equipment to be purchased. Members of the council suggested a meeting between the full school board and the full city council. City Administrator Reynolds was to contact the school district in an attempt to arrange the meeting. The meeting was terminated upon motion to open the meeting at 8:40 p.m. The motion was made by Councilmember Joe Kressel and seconded by Councilmember Christy Jurdy. The vote to open the meeting was unanimous.
Okay, thank you, Corky. Moving on.
Item 8.02 is a resolution to approve the intermediary relending loan program and mortgage satisfaction on the property owned by Steve K. Grove, a single person doing business as Grove Car Wash and Marine, with respect to document number A000707927, Your Honor.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve this resolution?
So moved, Your Honor.
Thank you, Tim. Is there a second?
I'll second it, Your Honor.
Thank you, Clayton. Discussion. Corky, please.
This is a matter similar to a number we've acted upon this year. Our financial director and myself have reviewed certain loans that have been made. This one has been paid. We've searched the county and our records, and it's appropriate to issue a satisfaction.
Thank you. Further discussion? Hearing none, can I have roll call, please?
Klott.
Aye.
Menard.
Aye.
Hibma.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Briggs.
Aye.
Cavalier.
Aye.
Kressel.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries.
Item 8.03 is a resolution regarding a grant application with respect to the Airport Improvement Project, AIP.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve this
I'll
resolution?
make that motion, Your Honor.
Thank you, Don. Do I have a second?
I'll second it, Your Honor.
Thank you, Delane. Discussion.
Yes, this matter relates to the airport improvement plan that we have. Our engineers have told us that they need our approval here to submit the application and the advertisement. This is for the new T hangar and for a lane runway improvements. This has been recommended by our airport commission, and this is necessary to allow this advertising for bids with respect to this project.
Thank you. Further discussion? Hearing none, can I have roll call, please?
Clot.
Aye.
Menard.
Aye.
Hibma.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Briggs.
Aye.
Cavalier.
Aye.
Kressel.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries.
Item 8.04 is a resolution regarding the confirmation by the City of Crookston to be a part of the coalition proposal submitted to the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency, MPCA, to the Federal Environmental Protection Agency, EPA.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve this resolution?
So moved, Your Honor.
Got Tim, and you want a second, Henry?
second.
Thank you.
Yes,
Discussion.
this matter relates to the city of Crookston being the only outstate city to be a part of the coalition headed by the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency to seek and obtain funding from the Federal Environmental Protection Agency. It relates to our confirmation of this desire to be part of this coalition, and it's especially relevant to equitable residential decarbonization, which will be submitted by the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency as a part of the overall application.
Thank you. Carrie, yes, I know Carrie's been working on this pretty hard
It's
lately.
become my life. I feel like Kayla's been doing the small cities and I've been doing this. Yeah, it's exciting. As Corky said, we were one of the only outlying cities in the state to be chosen to participate in this. We have a really good team working on this. We've started if you ever hear us say Empower Crookston, that's kind of the name of the organization that's all of us that are working on behalf of the city. It includes Regional Sustainable Development Partnership, Clean Energy Resource Team, Fresh Energy, which has a bunch of expertise, but they also help lobby on our behalf. Otter Tail Power Company has been working with us, our Rural Renewable Energy Alliance, and then there's other periodic guests. And we're on this phone every Monday morning working together to make sure we're doing proper for the city of Crookston. And one of the things that is in there specifically for those who, when you ask about the Woods Edition or if it's the Sampson Edition, this includes there's $22 million for certain that is going to be included in the MPCA grant request. I meet with the MPCA every Tuesday morning and other state representatives, cities that represent state, people who represent cities in the state, and we talk about what we're going to be putting in our grant to the EPA. Our grant is going to be about $300 million total for the city. 11 million, we got $22 million for Crookston right now. We're hoping to get the other 11 million included of geothermal for the college, UMC, but we have not heard back from that. But 11 million will be for weatherizing houses, and that will be for wards 1, 4, and 5, and those were identified by different economic things. It will be no matches are going to be added on that. It's going to be things like replacing your mini splits, your power panels, your appliances. There's a lot of things that will go into that, and that we're going to hear back on if we're awarded. We submitted our grant in April 1st, and then we'll hear back in the summer, and if it's awarded, we'll be looking at 2025 for that to be funded. And it's going to be about a 5-year project, so we'll be drinking through a fire hose until we get things going on that. But so we're starting to tell our contractors, the same as what Kayla was saying, please be aware that this is coming. The other 11 million will be working with power, wind and solar will be the other on that. And that would be so that we can power our emergency services, our hospitals, our fire department, and that type of things. So it's a big project. There's a lot going on, a lot of moving parts, but I just want to say thank you to you for your patience. And Corky, thank you for helping us, keep it sorted out in between the lines to get all the paperwork going. So any questions on that?
Thanks, Carrie.
Thank you, Carrie.
Further discussion? Hearing none, can I have roll call, please?
Clot.
Aye.
Menard.
Aye.
Hibma.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Briggs.
Aye.
Cavalier.
Aye.
Kressel.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries.
Item 8.05 is a resolution regarding approving a contract with respect to the provisions of concrete services related to the modular bathhouse in Central Park Campground.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve this?
I'll make that
resolution?
motion, Your Honor. I'll second it.
Who do I have over here?
Don.
Don, and then Clayton. Thank you.
Yes, what this is, if you'll recall, we're having a prefab or pre-constructed bathhouse in the Central Park Campground, and we need concrete work or footings essentially to place that bathhouse on. You will recall also, we did have our Park and Rec Director go out, seek quotes on this particular matter. The three companies, one reported they don't do that work anymore. The second one has not responded, and the third one gave us a quote that seems reasonable and appropriate, and it is a local contractor here for the city of Crookston. So we're asking for that approval so they can get everything in order.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Corky. Further discussion? Hearing none, can I have roll call, please?
Clot.
Aye.
Menard.
Aye.
Hibma.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Briggs.
Aye.
Cavalier.
Aye.
Kressel.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. All right. This brings us to reports. Corky, please.
A lot of things going on. We had accountant interviews, and we're pleased to report that we will be hiring an accountant who will start on Monday. So a long wait, but well worth it. Very qualified, very personable, and very knowledgeable. So we'll be glad to have her here. We've had a number of meetings with Ellers Financial. We've met with Moore Engineering, who came and talked to us and wanted more information about our posting to be city engineer, very fruitful there. We also had a number of regular meetings, and we also had a number of meetings with Tanner Holton, our city attorney, and I think you've received information regarding that. I am sad to report to you that I have received a letter of resignation from Chad, our IT director. I've accepted that with regrets. He has accepted another position in the metropolitan area community, and he will be starting that job on March 4th. So we will seek immediately an advertisement for that position, but we have a plan in place that will allow us to continue with excellent IT services for you all. Lastly, better news. You're all invited to the Crookston Inn after the meeting. They are having an opening this evening, and we received a handwritten invitation for all of you to attend. Hopefully you'll do that. This has been quite a work in progress. Good efforts by everybody, and they are open till 9 o'clock, and I bet they'll even let you stay a little bit longer if you come. That's all I have.
Thanks, Corky. Darren. Thank you. Shane.
Just a brief update. Hiring process is still ongoing. We're working through that at this point in time. Training of our newest firefighter, Ethan Falcon, is on schedule and going very well. So hopefully we're gonna have him be able to spread his wings and fly here shortly. We had 7 firefighters. This is encompassing full-time and paid on calls. Attend regional fire school down in Monoman last weekend. And everybody came back and they learned a little bit of something and enhanced some of their skills. And working with UMC right now on running some fire drills and stuff for their residence halls and just kind of helping them out with their safety aspect on that side, and that's all.
Thank you, Shane.
Thank you.
Brandon. No report, Your Honor. Thank you. Chuck.
No report, Your Honor.
Greg.
Good evening, everybody. I attended the ICC International Code Council, the Upper Great Plains Region 3 Annual Education Institute, big mouthful, but in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. That was during the week of February 12th to 16th. That was when I zoomed in on our conference, or our council meeting. I learned about legal, construction, wall bracing, mechanicals, wall systems, and plumbing and piping. So there's a lot of good information. I'm glad I went to little bit longer than typical, but it was worth it. I do have an update on the old bus garage. I talked with the Advanced Tire and Auto representative on February 22nd regarding the process or the progress of the old bus garage at 115 East 4th Street. The engineer, Jay Clevin of AE2S, was continuing to inspect the remaining bracing, roof boards, rafters during the week of February 19th through 23rd. So he's trying to locate. There's other repairs that he did find apparently on the west wall, for example, but he was looking at rafters and support structures. And I think the owner also gave him a few pointers of where a few additional points to be looked at for their drawing. So I'm personally waiting for the drawings to be submitted to me so I can review that. And I think with the engineer doing such a thorough inspection, I fully anticipate being good things going from there to let it.
So what's the process on that then? So the engineer gives his recommendations, and then the owner has, do we give him a timeline to finish them, or?
Yeah, I would definitely want a timeline associated with that. We need it, it's been ongoing for a long time. Hopefully shorter is better, but at least given I hope within a year progress or timeline to get it completed.
Is there discussion on what happens if that timeline is not met?
That's not been a discussion point, but I can make that clear that we would still pursue demolition at that point.
Thank you.
Thank you. One last thing, I did start a process for storing and scanning our large design and plot plan drawings. Chad got a rental on an Hewlett Packard HT2000, mouthful again. It's a scanner printer for basically scanning in large blueprints. We're just I'm trying to eliminate storage of the existing blueprint files that are in the building. And again, this will just be intermittent as time allows, but it'll be great to get those out of the building and have a little more space for other uses. So that's about it.
Thanks, Greg.
Thank you.
Jake, anything?
No report, Your Honor.
All right. Carrie, anything more to add? Yes. Great.
Busy place over there right now. I just wanted to update everybody on the I Love Crookston event. That is we had that meeting Saturday at the library a couple weeks ago. It was about 100 people attended or so. A lot of great ideas came out of that. We met last Thursday at the what is the youth center called? The Cove. At the Cove at 8 o'clock in the morning. We'll be meeting there again at 8 o'clock in the morning this Thursday to continue to discuss some of the items that came up on that discussion. It was a really good discussion. And we'll probably do a couple of more weeks over there, and then we'll maybe move to a different part of town just for people to discuss their area of town while we're in their area. This is to continue to further the discussion of future ideas for Crookston, starting the library event a couple weeks ago. The Empowering Small Minnesota Communities program is the community program that we have received that grant from the University of Minnesota. And many of you met Mary Vogel from the design center down there. So they did a really good job. We're excited about it. We are using this particular program is going to be dovetailing into what we're doing with the MPCA, because a lot of the designs are similar, a lot of the processes are similar, so we're kind of all working together on that. And Mary keeps telling me that design is actually how you empower communities, so I'm learning. Childcare, we'll be looking at the $600,000 childcare grant available through DEED. Kayla's working on that application right now. We went up to Baudette, Minnesota on Friday, and we toured a pod model, which we have not seen before in our area, where they have individual daycare licensees, like the home licensures, but they were in the school, and they have 4 of those in the school in Baudette. It was I really want to be, the licensors took us, the county people who licensed took us through. So it was pretty informative. I learned a lot, and I'm putting my notes together, and I'll kind of give it to us as we move forward. As we all know, we're trying to put that into the Washington School should we decide as a city to purchase that. The other thing, the community garden, I'm excited, and Michelle mentioned that. The Alan and Frida Peterson Community Garden, adjacent to VTP, we're looking at more space. We're looking at creating more things for people with young children to do that is not expensive, and that's been a big motto. You know, in the summertime, we can move on that, and then we're also looking at different things we can do in the wintertime to create activities for people with small children, toddlers, and that type of a family, well, for everybody. But the community garden will engage youth and community, sustainable agriculture, educational workshops, and I'm more looking like pumpkin patches, what I'm thinking, Michelle. And then in conjunction with Michelle's efforts with the community garden, we've identified another grant with the Board of Water and Soil Resources called the Pollinator and Biodiversity Future Grant Opportunity. And we're just getting into that to see what we can do to get that grant. I'm thinking it was at 25 to 50. 50 to 100. Oh, I'm sorry, 50 to 100,000. And that can help us to, a lot of the when we do our 2027 street projects and even before that, we're going to have to buy a lot of shrubs and trees and grasses, and so a lot of this can offset costs of that as we go on, but it can also get us going in some of our other, you can see, there's just so much, I'm going to stop on that, but I'll talk to more about that after we get some more on it. But a lot of good things going on, a lot of grants out there, a lot of activities going on, so I just want to say thank you, and I really thank you to my staff, and thank you to all of you for your support. And lastly, tomorrow we will not have our EDA meeting tomorrow morning because we're supposed to have a blizzard. So we're going to postpone that till Wednesday at 7 o'clock, and now that we postponed it, we'll not get any snow, right?
That's it.
So that's all I have. Any questions?
I think that notice was for Morgan, right?
Yes.
Any questions on anything?
Thank you, Carrie.
Oh, thank you guys. Have a good night.
Thank you, Carrie.
Thank you, Carrie.
Ashley has a little bit of an update here.
Just a reminder that Tuesday, March 5th, there will be a presidential primary. Polling locations will be for wards 1, 2, and 6 will be voting at St. Paul's Lutheran Church, and wards 3, 4, and 5 will be voting at First Presbyterian Church. Polls will open at 7 a.m. and will stay open until 8 p.m. One major change in this upcoming election in March will be the voters have to declare their political party because there are separate ballots for each major party. So if anyone has any questions regarding this upcoming election on next Tuesday, March 5th, they can contact City Hall at 218-281-4503 and ask for Ashley, and I'd be happy to help answer those questions.
Thank you. All right, the best for last, Chad.
Thank you, Your Honor. Let me just get a few housekeeping things out of the way first. So I'm happy to report that this Thursday, we are cutting our first facility over to the new phone system. So the airport will be transitioning over to our new cloud-based system, followed by City Hall and the other departments within the month of February and into March. Greg mentioned our document imaging system. And so we have the new servers installed, set up and ready to go for that. It's a system called M-Files. We're working with our vendor partner, Marco. Our first phase will be working with the city clerk's department to get our minutes and our resolutions brought into that system. Then we'll be working with building inspections to get the maps brought in, and then with water and sewer to get their maps and plans brought into the system, and then other city departments will follow. So we're getting a good step forward with that system. Some housekeeping steps this week on Tuesday night. From 5 o'clock until it's complete, and Thursday night as well. Maintenance to make sure that our new network and server systems are performing correctly and keep doing so. And I mentioned that we were successful in our disaster recovery scenario that took place last week. So I'm happy to report that our city network is in very good shape. I'll say that it is with regret that I'm tendering my resignation with the city of Crookston. I've really appreciated the opportunity these years to serve as IT director for the city. I'm very proud of what we've accomplished together as a city in technology, and I'll be pursuing a professional career with the city of Savage, Minnesota, beginning on March 4th. So thank you for the opportunity to serve.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chad.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chad.
Start with Morgan. Anything tonight?
Just just want to thank Chad for everything he's done for the city and wish him the best luck. I was at the Ellers bonding meeting, and a good discussion and good learnings there. I'm sure there's something else, but I can't think of it.
All right, thanks, Morgan. Henry?
Like Michelle said, CVB got a grant over to them for the community garden. It's exciting. They were talking about working with the farmer's market and everything, which it sounds like fun. And this weekend in Crookston, just at the CVB meeting, we were talking about how the hotels are gonna be full. We got Just for Kicks has a tournament this weekend. There's a Mites tournament, I believe. It's a wedding at the Crookston Inn. It's gonna be a real busy one for the town, which is pretty nice.
Great. Thanks, Henry. Clayton?
First off, I'd like to thank Chad for the time he's put in here. He's brought Crookston where we need to be, and I wish you the best on your new adventure. Thank you. That's all I have, Your Honor.
Thank you. Don?
Yeah, I'd like to ditto everyone's thank you to Chad. Without you, I'd be in the hole. You really helped me with getting online all the time, and he comes over to my house and we drink Pepsi and all that kind of stuff.
After work,
So
right?
after work. After work.
Yeah,
after
that's what I
work,
thought you said.
right. And I wanted to wish you well and good luck to you in the future. We're going to miss you. I'm going to miss you very, very much. So thank you. Thank you for what you've done.
Thanks, Don. Joe?
Yeah, same as everybody else. I want to wish you well, Chad. You've done a great job here, and you will be missed. That's all I got.
Thanks. Delane?
Yeah, I'm very sorry to see Chad leaving. I mean, good luck in your future. I mean, he's done a great job while he's been here. When I first got on the council, I mean, the work that you've done, and we got a lot of work to do yet. So that's why I'm extremely sad to see you go. You've been a great asset to this community. So thank you for everything you did, and hopefully we can find somebody just as qualified as Chad.
I think we should have a Chad Palm Day before you leave. Give you the keys to the city and offer you an opportunity to stay. But thank you for all of the good work and your dedication to excellence.
Yeah.
Thank you. And to Carrie and her team for all the wonderful work that you're doing on behalf of the future of Crookston, Empower Crookston. Just keep it coming. We'll deal with whatever we have to keep the wheels turning.
Thanks, Tim. Also, Chad, you're gonna be deeply missed. I don't know how you can go down there and fight with the traffic, but I know Savage well. My son lived there a while, and I've got a sister-in-law there. It's a nice community, and I wish you the very best. You've really dug us out of a hole here, and much appreciated. Hopefully, we can continue to update our IT, whoever is in your position. Thank you again. I'd like to also thank Mrs. Lean, who donated some money to Night Tea at Night. It's a great event in Crookston. Hats off to the police department for continuing this wonderful event. Thanks, Darren. Also, I think Chuck's probably out of shape, but we got a little weather event coming up again, so just beware of the weather conditions tomorrow. So just a reminder, we have no Ways and Means tonight, so thank you, everybody. We are adjourned.